Hello and welcome to Happy Foot, Sad Foot. I'm Travis Helwig, and I don't think I'm cut out for this.
I'm Darren Miller.
I'm Vince, and I think you did a perfect job at when the music like crescendo.
So far,
you
so good
really
on
got
tech.
it in there. Like that's probably the best lead-in from music we've ever had.
I would
Thank
say
you
that
so much.
With that, I'd like to say good night, and I love you all. I'll see you later.
Would you trade everything from Vince for the one I love you? Because that's what just happened. Are we doing that?
Did he say I love you?
He did.
I didn't hear you say it.
That's what happens.
I said I love you all, so it's not really
Oh.
the same. Yeah.
Look,
Sorry.
we just watched what I want to remind everyone was a 4-2 win on aggregate against the Columbus Crew, our biggest rival.
Huge
We succeeded. We have moved on to the next round. We have done what we were supposed to do. I look forward to everyone bringing that energy to this conversation. A 4-2 victory for LAFC. Nothing negative to talk about. Just a pure raw victory for the boys in black and gold. Here's what I'll say. For that game was so stressful that for the first time ever, I think me and Vince got in a fight. And and that hasn't happened before. And it wasn't even about the game. It was about the philosophical concept of blame. And I feel like that's the type of game we just watched. A Dolo masterclass, which means you're going to hate watching the game, but we might win at the end.
Not a Dolo masterclass, but not for the reasons that everyone's saying.
So look, there's going to be a lot of blame to go around. I know we don't know if blame is the right word. We won. But Vince, tell us why that felt so sloppy from start to finish. To me, it felt like we were parking the bus and just like played incredibly safe, and then we're on our heels. Tell me what you saw.
I saw two teams that set up tactically and formation-wise exactly how they did the last time, except for this time, Columbus was much sharper. LAFC was not. And so when we talk about the team sitting back and defending, like Columbus is very good on the ball. You can't just run at them without having a structure because they're just going to pass through you. And LAFC knows that. So when LAFC was dropping back, they're trying to get into a position where they can basically clog up passing lanes and take away what Columbus does really well, which is pass the ball in short, tight spaces. And then get the ball and counter. The problem was they couldn't get close enough to Columbus a lot of times because basically when they were getting the ball, they were giving it right back. And that's what we talked about in the first game was LAFC's ability when they had the ball to do something with it, whether it was to pass around for a little bit, whether it was to get the ball just deep and get a goal kick. Like I don't think the first goal kick that LAFC forced from Columbus was until late in that first half. And remember, we talked about their press, and a lot of people were talking about the press here. The high press only worked in that game because of the amount of goal kicks. You can't just high press Columbus. Again, you can't just say, like, let's send 11 guys running at them and see what happens because they will cut you up and they will pass right through you. So the high press was non-existent because they just didn't have situations. Like LAFC is not a Red Bull team in their press where they press all the time, no matter what, wherever the ball is. They're a team that presses in moments, and the biggest moment against Columbus is to press against them off of their goal kicks. And so that explains a lot of what went wrong. I'm not absolving LAFC of like what they did. They were sloppy. And there were times, honestly, the first set, like everything that could have gone wrong. And we talked about this, right? We broke the game down. We said, this is how we think the game, if the game's going to go sideways, it's going to go like this. And It went exactly how we went. It was an early goal, then a goal that, I don't necessarily blame Eddie for that. Like, that's a bummer. It bounces up on his chest and then he hits it with his hand. Like you run with your arms moving out, like that happens. But so that's kind of fluky, but the team righted itself a little bit and actually had moments where they had kind of spells of possession. But then I wrote down 4 or 5 times were just stupid decisions by multiple guys on multiple plays. Like the play that leads to the goal, Mark Delgado has a chance to spring Bouanga. Then Bobisi has a chance to spring Bouanga. Both of them decide that they're just going to blindly hit the pass. It doesn't get to Bouanga. It goes right back down the field. Turns out Eddie Segura handles the ball, goal. So it's hard for me to look at this game under the light other than a team executed very well for big stretches, which was Columbus, and LAFC did not. But at the end of the day, LAFC was able to right the ship enough to defend well enough to keep their lead that they produced in the first game.
And to the team's credit, the second half at least looked a little bit more solid than the first, right? The first half, it looked like we got punched in the mouth, as we said we might, and it from there, everything just melted away. The doubt crept in. The 5-2 reminder from this weekend crept back in, right? Which is what we said. When you lose 5-2 like that, you're reminded that it's possible to blow something this bad. Mm-hmm. And you saw that on all the players' faces, right? It was a psychological bloodbath the entire first half. The second half was maybe a little bit stronger, but still, like, you could tell this was a game that Columbus was after, and it was a game that we were somewhat scared to play. And I think we are very lucky with a 2-0 scoreline. Happy foot, obviously, Hugo Lloris, who played the game of his life, maybe saved a goal, maybe did not. Thank God they don't have goal line cameras. I mean, a very real chance that was a goal. We don't have the angle to know. But another happy foot, Under, who in one brief moment took all of the anxiety away, stole the ball with his speed, and had the smarts to look up and find Bouanga open to just seal the victory at the very end. I think we're going to get a lot of sad feats when we talk to people, but I want to make sure we get Hugo played his fucking mind off for however old he is, 50 years old.
It's an incredible game.
And Under, I'm very excited he's on our team for however long we have him.
Interesting substitution, right? Like, all of us went into this saying, like, Under hasn't played a lot. He has barely been with the team. And in that moment where, like Travis, you said, like, a lot of the guys on the team seemed scared. Like, they were playing tight. They were playing not to make errors. And Under is a guy that, like, you wouldn't worry about him from that regard, but, like, do you want to throw him in the deep end there? And I still not enough to really assess him fully, but the times that he did have the ball and then his willingness to get back and defend, really good. So, good on the coaching staff for knowing, like, this guy can do it. We've seen enough in training. We think that that's the right move. I don't know if David Martinez gives you that same type of effort towards the end, not because he doesn't want to, but because he's just young. He makes mistakes, and he tires also. But we saw at the end of the Columbus game in the first leg, he was gassed. He was absolutely out of it. So big moment, big change. Also changing to the 5-2-3, kind of really took away Farsi, who was causing a lot of problems on that wing.
He fucking terrifies me, man. I see him in my nightmares. He's just like, I mean, he's beaten us before. He just looks so confident against us. I really, really am scared, like deeply scared of Mo Farsi.
Yeah, he's a really good wingback.
This was the Columbus team that we're used to facing that we did not see last time.
Yeah.
To be fair, neither team saw the team they played last time.
Right.
We have a couple super chats, Darren. You want to go?
Yes. David L. Let's be clear. Just because we won it doesn't mean Dolo's strategy worked.
Let's get into it.
Dolo out.
Thank you for the super chat, David.
Thank you, David, for the super chat. Another follow-up super chat on the same subject. Dolo Ball is one hell of an acid trip, man, from Daniel.
Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you so much for the super chat.
I would love for anybody to be able to actually break down what Dolo Ball is. Not like what you think it is, but like what actually happens on the field.
Here's what I mean when I say Dolo Ball.
We just look bad. The team looks bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
When they play poorly, that's Dolo Ball, and when they play well, that's the players doing well.
Okay, that's good. Yeah,
fair.
That's a good way to distill it.
I feel like here's where I think a lot of this is how I feel about our style of play the last few years, and it's something that has frustrated me a lot. And it comes, like we said, from Dolo's reliance on our defense. And especially when we're playing a third string center back because Chanot and Marlon are out. When we play to not lose, we tend to not succeed. You could call this game a success because it is tangibly a success. We won. We lost 2-1, but we won in the end 4-2. right? But it was a game in which we were playing to not lose. And
But
you could
how-
feel that from the beginning.
Could you elaborate on that a little bit? Like, how were we playing not to lose? What were they doing other than making mistakes?
Well, I feel like there was a level of timidness with our passing where nothing was. Here's what I'll say: it was an absorb and then just kick, right? And we played over the top in ways that were not clinical or creative in any real way. We were just sort of that early on, especially in the first 10 minutes, we were just kicking the ball out of bounds when we got possession, right? There was no attempt to play through. No, definitely not play through, which isn't the strategy. But when we were playing over them, it felt like we were just kicking it as hard as we could. Do I think that's what Steve Cherundolo said for them to do? Probably not. But it's a style of play that when you're under pressure, sometimes you can make really ugly mistakes quickly, right? Like we have to play smart when we play that way. Sure. And it didn't feel like we played smart. Now, I admittedly, we all know I don't know tactics. I don't know anything besides the way I feel inside. But like, it did not feel like we had a plan to score other than absorb and then just kick over everyone else, right? And I feel like if you watch, and that worked, I guess, the first leg, and it didn't work here. I don't know. You talk me through why I'm stupid, Vince.
Well, in the first couple of minutes, Bouanga did have.
You're supposed to say, "No, you're not stupid."
No, you're not stupid. Well, look.
Let's not go that far, Vince.
You're not stupid, and look, tactics are hard because first and foremost, it's not because you don't know them. It's because literally, how can you know them? There's 11 players on the field, and you have no idea if they're deciding to do what the coach said or what is happening in the moment when they're like, oh, fuck, there's a guy right next to me. What do I do with this ball? And I think that actually was the mindset of most of the LAFC players in most of the moments you described. However, like look back in the first couple of minutes, Bouanga has a shot. It goes right to the goalkeeper. It's not a great shot from him, but the play that they did in order to create that shot was pull the ball back, absorb pressure, then play through your midfield with passes into the spaces, and then get your winger 1v1s where you can cut in it and create a shot. Is that maybe what LAFC is too reliant on other than going long and going, quick in transition? Probably. Like we've already talked about that, right? LAFC does not have a plan the way Columbus has a plan to hem you in and get the ball within probably the final 30 to 40 yards of the field and just say, like, just be relentless in the way that you attack a team. We would love to see LAFC be that way, but I don't think you can. That's not a switch you just turn on. Like this Columbus team didn't just wake up and go like, "Hey guys, it'd be really cool if we did this." So that's where I say, like, when people say Dolo ball, like, what are you saying? LAFC play bad, or the things that you think he actually instilled in the team to do?
I think, and we talked about this early on in the season, right? And we've gotten shit for it. It's like, it's less fun to watch. And there's a comment to that in that vein as well, right? Like if we lost under Bob Bradley, it was fun to lose. It wasn't fun to lose, but at least was a fun game. Losing under Steve Cherundolo feels like you're slowly pulling your skin off. And again, we didn't lose.
So I'll tell you the biggest thing that is different between Bob and Steve, and you've touched on it already in terms of, well, yeah, that's a big one. But you talked about Steve wanting to be good defensively. Like Bob's idea of defense was to win the ball high up the pitch and just start the attack again, which is similar to the way Columbus plays. So when you watch LAFC lose the ball, like there might be one guy getting pressure to the ball. You always got to get some pressure to the ball. But the way Bob used to do it, it was like, if any of you three guys are within a distance, get on that ball and get to it. Steve won't do that because what Bob did there was he said, look, I'll sacrifice the chance that they get through three guys, and then all of a sudden there's an odd man rush on my back line that they'll have to sort out one way or another and possibly create a big chance. But there'll only be a few of them because we press them so well. We do that so many times that they're not able to do that more than once. However, the one or two times they do it, the likelihood of a goal is very high. Whereas Steve says, I'm going to be the opposite. I'm not going to press the ball quickly. And instead, I'm going to leave guys back because you know what the most difficult thing to do in this sport is to score, and to score when there's not space. And so Steve he basically says, high chances I will not give you, but I'll give you a lot of just low quality chances. Like you could take shots all day on Hugo Lloris from 25 yards out, or at bad angles, or with guys blocking them, or you're crossing the ball and hoping you can win a header against Aaron Long and a couple other guys. So that's the trade-off, right? Like that's the biggest thing. And so I think literally now we're actually describing Dolo ball. That's why I wanted to have this talk. Like now we're actually describing what he actually does. Now you can still not like it and say I don't find it super attractive, but as we know, there's a million ways to win in soccer. So that's his philosophy. It's been successful for him since arriving. If you don't like it, that's fine. However, I would say that if you wanted to all of a sudden become a Columbus team, that would require also an overhaul of the roster. Like you can't just not every player can do that. And Bob would even tell you that, even though Bob definitely was more of the type that thought he could change players in the way that they played by challenging them in these ways. And Nancy talks about that a lot too. He challenges the players to be better in that way, in that specific way.
And it's time to have that conversation, right? Wilfred Nancy continues to choke in these big game opportunities.
It's true.
He just can't win in these games that matter most. Do you think it's time to talk about Nancy out?
You got to believe that the Columbus fans are calling for it. Another big loss for them. Yeah, I think it's hashtag Nancy out over there. I don't see why it wouldn't be, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, how many big games can you get to and then just blow it? And that's Wilfred Nancy. That's the Wilfred Nancy experience. That's the Columbus Crew experience.
Guys, I know that I just talked a lot and I hate to do this, but I do actually have to run. Before all the callers, and I know that they want to just yell at me.
Well,
but really, it's easier to yell at you when you can't.
Yeah. So guys,
them wrong.
Here's the thing.
This is great.
Have at it. I won't even be there. You can talk all the shit. I won't be able to say anything. And you know what? These two are gonna let you because they love it. So go for it. Make a good episode.
Open season, guys.
Hell yeah! All right, thanks, Vince.
I do love everyone. I won't say the phrase you want me to say, but I do love everyone.
Fuck you. Get out of here.
I don't see the difference, honestly.
I see the difference. I see the difference. Bye, Vince.
Bye.
Bye.
So
sorry to interrupt you, Travis. There's another super chat from William Lamb. Thank you so much, William. He says, with leg 2 loss to Columbus, LAFC now advances to the quarterfinals. They played all right. That's a good way to sum it up. I wish if Inter Miami advances, they will. And then he got cut off. That's a shame. Feel free to comment.
Gotta keep
again.
the super chat short.
Comment. Yeah, there's a limit. No limit to how much you can contribute, but there is a limit to the character count. Apparently,
YouTube, interesting. Thank you so much, William.
There you go, YouTube.
Yeah, I mean let's quickly talk about Miami, who we're most likely going to play next round. We said this after the Colorado game. Don't think we could beat Columbus or Miami. So far, we're 1 for 2. Let's see.
All according to plan.
This is exactly how we wanted it to go.
Yep.
Go up 3, humiliate them at home, and then slowly think about if you want to keep hosting an LAFC podcast in the second leg.
Right.
Like really consider if this is what you want to do.
Make the post-game torture. On that same note, another super chat from GTG Law. Thank you so much. Thank God we won. Time to party. We play in Miami. Are we going in Miami? What's happening
it's
there?
1-1. I mean, we'll
that's
play
right.
at home, and then we'll
I've already
play
completely blanked out on the entire structure of what's happening.
Can we go to Miami? I just realized I have an excuse to go to Miami.
Wow. You and the entire team at the same time. Should we get some callers? We've got a lot of callers piling up here.
Okay. Do you want to get through the? No, yeah. Let's do the callers. We have a bunch.
We have a bunch of super chats and callers. This is an embarrassment of riches. I don't know.
Thank you, everyone, for hanging out. Please subscribe if you've never been here before. We're trying to get to 1,000.
We'll get through all of it.
Hit thumbs up. Let's give it to him. Let's give it to him because I feel like it's going to be a fountain of negativity. Let's bring him on, my boy.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Let's bring him on. This man. I'm so happy he's here tonight while we're celebrating a victory against a team we didn't know if we could ever beat. We just took down our biggest demon, the Columbus Crew. Let's see what heel of the foot, a true monster, Jeff Talk has to say about it. Jeff Talk, any happy feet or sad feet?
Reject the premise of the show. So I've been doing a lot of language work, right? I'm really trying to get my French better. You know what I mean? There's this app called Duolingo. I don't know if you're familiar with it. There's OW. So do you guys know what the word for bum is in French?
Le bum.
Oh boy, that was it's Giroud, actually. It's Giroud.
Oh,
do you know what the word for disappointment is in French? Weirdly, it's the same. It's Giroud again.
Oh, interesting. It's one of those
it's one of those words.
Many words for snow, sort of thing.
Yeah. And this will shock you guys. This was a shock to me when I saw it when the owl was yapping at me. But the word for bust also is Giroud. I'd also like
Are
to
you sure
thank
that doesn't
Giroud
mean
for-
like a head bust, like a
Show me
statue?
your notes app. Show me your notes app where you wrote this down before you came on.
Yeah.
Pen
The
and paper,
original
baby.
notes app.
I'm old school, man. I'm old school. I'd also like to thank Giroud for bringing some French culture to America, and by that I mean Lupin III, who is a thief, a professional thief, stealing money. Much like Giroud is stealing money from all of us when I pay for my ticket, he is taking money out of my pocket.
And you work hard for
Who
that
do you guys
money.
think? Hold on. Who do you guys think has stolen more money?
Don't tell me to hold on. It's my fucking show. What were
It's
you?
our show. It's our show. We're a team. We're a team. Be a team player, all right? Who do you think stolen more money? The guys who broke into Giroud's house or Giroud?
Jeff.
I personally think it's probably Giroud. That's probably what I would say.
Some stealing is working within the law. So we're talking about white collar crime, blue collar crime. You know what I mean? Like some stealing's legal, some stealing's illegal.
I would just say that Michael Mann's thief is a great text for learning about the class consciousness that sometimes is behind some of these actions of violence.
Mm-hmm.
I just had my first spit take in podcast history, and I want you to know, Jeff, you gave it to me.
I'm here for it. Okay. I got one more bit.
Okay, thank you, because we got people waiting.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I keeping the callers waiting? You guys had 25
Literally,
people
yes.
before me last time. I don't think Dolo is going to make it through the year. That's my prediction.
Whoa!
Or I should say, I don't think he will be the coach next year if we play anything like this going forward. Because I know Vince is going to tell me why I'm an idiot. And here's the other thing. We're missing those two center backs, and for what he wants to do, you need a passing center back, and neither of those guys can pass. Some would say that's why you don't re-sign Aaron Long, who cannot pass. By the way, a great drinking game is to take one sip of a beer every time Aaron Long makes a sideways pass, and you will die in the first 25 minutes. You will actually kill yourself.
I just want to remind people, Maxime Chanot and Marlon are both out right now, who are both better center backs than Eddie Segura, who was in that game. So we do have decent people in our back line.
Yes. I would also say that, and I'm not at the tactical genius that Vince is, obviously, because I have kids and career and stuff, so I don't have time to be a fucking nerd and play football or whatever he does.
Fucking piece of shit. You piece of shit.
What? I'm just saying, I'm busier than he is. He's got free time. Why
this is my bit. When I do it, I'm nicer about it.
Well, yeah, your parents loved you, man. What do you want from me? I think that my frustration with Dolo ball at this moment is that we don't have anybody that's going over the top, and they're playing everything to feet, and everybody wants the ball to feet. And so therefore, even when we get the ball, we're not able to go as quickly as we could otherwise because we're not going over the top of that defense, which allows them to crash on our guys, especially if you look at like a Bobasi, right? A Bobasi will receive the ball and immediately have somebody's knee in the back of his thigh. It's very quick, and they're able to do that because they know nobody's going to go over the top. And of all of the things, I find that the most frustrating. That I don't need this counter press thing. I can live with whatever else, but it just seems like when we're playing the ball to belong on his feet instead of playing somebody over the top, it's just wildly frustrating. All that being said, if under plays, and I also would like to thank the front office for having a only 2 DPs at a time, because even when we have 3 DPs, the third one ain't a fucking DP. This piece of shit, Giroud.
I thought you were done with your bits. Look, I agree with you with the over the top thing, right? Like even Lloris, I'm sort of tired of him just fucking hitting the ball as hard as he can, right? He had a great game, but it really feels like he's hitting the ball in the general direction of a player. And I can't tell you a single time we kept possession on a punt. And it's a frustrating thing to watch. We finally get a defensive stop, and within 10 seconds, the other team has the ball, right? I'm not saying we have to play up the middle, but let's find the places to play that are slightly more smart than just letting him clear it forward and then absorbing the pressure. Jeff, thank you so much for being here, and especially for your free labor.
The flu. That's my other tech. I think maybe everybody had the flu. You guys do it that way you will.
Really glad you got that one in.
Oh my God, thank God.
Look. Let's do a super chat, then a caller. Let's go back and forth.
Okay. Here's a super chat from our good friend Mikey. Thank you so much. Cheers from Southeast Asia. Oh my goodness. Did they play better from that vantage point? I don't know. Giroud was
not flush the other way there because we. I meant because we were toilet.
These are all bits from the super chat, right? Nope. He says Giroud was not only non-existent but horrid. Lloris, salute emoji. Can we play this way against Miami, a high possession team? Shrug
I think
emoji.
we're going to.
I think you just got to the heart of the issue. I think that's what it is. Everyone is like, I think we should play this way. I think we should play that way. No, I like how we're gonna do it.
We're gonna play this way
This
against Miami.
is the team. You can't get a totally different team. There's it being successful and them doing it well, and then there's them doing it poorly. They're not going to just be a totally different team. They were a totally different team from the first leg because they just did the same thing well. Like, you're going to get this regardless.
And boy, is it a joy. Thank you so much for the super chat, Mikey. Stay safe on tour. All right, let's do. What the hell just happened?
That was Dolo's fault. Whatever happened.
It was Dolo ball.
It's a Dolo ball.
It rolled off my desk.
A Dolo ball is any ball where something bad happens.
All right, our good friend from last episode is here. Please welcome to the show, Sebastian. Any happy feet or sad feet?
I don't know, but Bouanga! He scored, bro. He scored. A hat trick in the aggregate. I'm happy.
That's the energy
we
need.
We love it. We love it. A hat trick in the aggregate. I love that.
And then Reese, that one-handed save. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, what a beauty.
Heart attacks everywhere.
Truly, the two of them just make you feel better as a fan.
Yeah, just give me a stomach.
Sebastian, we're having a little trouble hearing you because of your connection. I'm really sorry. It's just coming in and out. But thank you for calling. Please come back.
Thank you for joining us. I mean, let's
see you, man.
Let's keep it on those on just the happy feet anyway. We don't need sad feet there. Let's end on that. That was perfect.
Yeah, truly, the screaming Bouanga. I do think that is something that we shouldn't lose track of. Right? We won and we scored. It feels good. We're going to have a lot of conversation about style of play because it was such a stressful game. We won the fucking game. We're moving on to play Miami. Sebastian is 100% right. We should be celebrating an aggregate win, even if it feels bad inside.
We've got another caller. Should we keep it rolling?
Yeah, let's keep it rolling.
G-Dub, welcome to the show.
Hey.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for your patience. Happy feet, sad feet. Anything we haven't mentioned?
Yeah, well, I want to be more positive again this time.
We love it.
I think we saw some improvement from Giroud, particularly in connected passes. He had a lot of passes that connected. My sad foot is that it connected with the wrong team. So he did have a lot of successful passes forward.
Everyone's got a lot of time to write their bits.
Yeah, at the first part of that, I was like, man, this guy did a real deep dive to find that. I don't know where he found that, but I guess he's looking at footage.
Yeah. I know. I just watched the game and then I was like, this will be funny.
Well, you were right.
I'm not
it's more
even
funny now
I'm
than
an
it was
amateur,
watching
guys,
it.
so.
That's for sure.
Yeah, it's pretty easy, right?
I could do this.
I could do it. Any sad feet?
No, I mean, like the sad foot was that it went to the wrong.
I know that was my joke. See, it's not so easy, you piece of shit.
And I didn't do the yes and. See, I broke the whole rule.
It just takes reps.
I have to go take some classes, I suppose.
Yeah, and they cost like 500 each.
What could Drew work on more? Do we think?
I think maybe not falling and looking at the ref every time as if he expects them to give him a foul, but it's literally never happened in his entire time playing here. So
this was the first game where that specifically started to make me wonder how much of his game in Europe relied on that. I was like, could he actually be a fraud? And like he just found this like really reliable loophole to get calls.
He's like that restaurant where as soon as their supplier changes, it's terrible. So it turns out like they really didn't know what they were doing. They just lucked out with getting like something that was very
and
good from somebody.
Not just the thing that they were supplying either. Like everything goes to shit.
Yeah. But you know what? I'm excited to see us play this way against Miami. I'm going to take so many jazz gummies.
And that's the sad part.
I'm going to be in a different dimension while I watch that game. That's the only way.
I think we are hitting on something. This is not the first time this has come up in this episode. Maybe we should be watching these games high, and maybe more of us should be doing that.
I don't.
Yeah.
The amount of anxiety I had this game. If I was high, I would be in the hospital right now. What are you talking about?
Well, doesn't that just depend on the drug?
Darren,
Yeah.
weren't you with me when I made people leave Dodger Stadium in
That's
the third
true.
inning? Because I
Except for
was
Travis. Yeah,
I
except for
shouldn't.
Travis.
I shouldn't be high.
Travis
during
should
this.
never be high.
Yeah, it
Certainly
doesn't
not
work
that
for
way.
everybody.
That's
Well, thank
true.
you so much for calling G-Dub. And G-Dub, what's the G-Dub in reference to?
My last name Goodwin.
Okay, because Darren and I went to GW for college. I was like, interesting.
Oh,
Could we have
no,
known you?
No,
All right.
no, I didn't go to college there.
Okay. Well, thank you, G-Dub. We'll talk to you soon.
That was
let's
not
get
worth
to
you
some-
admitting publicly that we went to GW.
Yeah, I usually don't say it out loud. I like to bring up NYU and I don't bring up the other stuff. Let's go
You
to some
found
more
a way to
super chats.
shoe it in there, though.
Yeah. Oh, NYU in New York, the film school. Oh yes, it really teaches you how to marry well.
Sorry, you were saying, should we go to should we go to super chat?
Super chat.
Did I skip one here?
Oh my God.
Did I skip
Oh
one?
no, you skipped a couple. So
I
this is
did.
the next
we'll
one.
go
for
back to that
$2.
one. $2 in Luis we trust. Yes.
Thank you, Christian Villa. Thank
My
you for the
happy
super
foot.
chat.
Your happy foot. Everyone's happy foot.
And I want to bring up
There's no
Rebecca
other-
Braverman. Her comment is something based on that we're going to do. Our new shirt idea, I love Larice, with 2 L's. We'll get on designing it right away. I think that's a great shirt idea. I mean,
good.
fuck,
There's a
Hugo.
lot of specific Larice merch requests in the chat. Look at this. They're just rolling. Look at this. God is real merch for Larice.
I feel like Larice, we always felt a little shaky about him last year because he started a little rough. Since that first 2 months last season, easily the best goalie we've ever had.
Yeah.
And it's time to stop
Absolutely.
pretending like that's not true. All right, more super chats, more.
Yes,
We have a bunch.
yes. Okay, so I was here. Manuel Araujo, thank you for the super chat. Spanish announcer says Hugo does what Giroud cannot.
I don't know. I think they do the same thing, not score goals. They both stop goals from happening.
Yeah, they both save goals. One saves goals for LAFC though,
Yes, that's true.
so that's particularly helpful, and that's why he's in the Happy Foot column today.
Thank you so much
Announcers-
for your super chat.
Announcers have a way of just cutting through the bullshit, don't they?
This is a good excuse to talk about fucking Tubi.
Oh,
Maybe if that was an easier game, I would have been talking about Tubi a lot tonight.
that's
What
true.
the fuck are we doing? You're making me download Tubi? You don't have enough Fox networks to show me? What do you have on? Lacrosse? What are we doing? You're
Well,
showing horseshoes again, Alexi Lawless?
Tell me you didn't host your Super Bowl party without telling me you didn't host your Super Bowl party.
I have cable.
Okay. Well, now you're punching
And
down.
it wasn't on cable. Well, it's and I downloaded Tubi. I did the thing. And then I turn it on and there's no announcer for the first 10 minutes. It's glitching
That's true.
out.
That
I
was
go,
an
"All
issue.
right."
That's really an issue with the broadcast. Because, otherwise you're just capturing footage of what's happening in the world. That's just.
I was like, can I figure out how to live stream in time to let me do the announcing during the game?
That's what they were saying.
It just was it was truly a dog show. It was I like dog shows a lot more.
That was also a Tubi.
I'll say the Spanish announcer did a great job of making me anxious because it was a lot of emotion and I didn't know what he was saying.
I mean, it's more fun anyway. That's always going to be a more fun way to watch it. Listen, I'm not the best audience for downloading a new app for entertainment.
You love
I like
downloading
Tubi. I have no problem with Tubi. I had no
You
problem.
also like
I
Spirit
already
Airlines,
had
though.
Tubi. I
You
do
told
like
me-
Spirit Airlines.
Oh
So
my
I'm
God.
kind of proving your point by being the person. Like, if you want to trash Tubi, you say, "Oh, the people who like Tubi are the kind of people that like," and then insert anything I like there, and it works.
Yeah,
Like-
that's fair.
So I think we both win on that one.
All right, let's get to some more callers because we got more people waiting.
Yes,
Joey's been waiting for a while.
Joey, Are you with us?
Terrifying cackle to start.
my
Joey, how
God.
you doing? Any
Wow.
happy feet?
Oh my God, where are you? Oh my God. What's
LAX
going on? Where
Andy in
are
the
you?
house.
Are you at a hockey match? You're at a hockey game?
Yeah.
This is a bizarro world
Yes, we are.
event with a Happy Foot Sad Foot scarf.
Yes, that's right, baby. We're
Hell
rocking
yeah.
the scarf.
Do you think the LAFC match or this call is more of a fever dream?
I do feel like I'm in a liminal space right now.
Oh my God! The Foot Clan is
Yeah.
skipping. Did you miss the match?
We were watching it here. We all celebrated when Belonga scored his goal, and then we thought we were perfectly timed up for the period break to allow us to call in to Happy the Sad Foot. And you guys put Jeff Talk on instead.
We had a lot of.
three Happy Foot Sad Foot, like, you know.
How are we gonna know the
We
three of
didn't
you were
know.
together?
What,
I
you didn't have
wrote
your
it in the
camera
I
on.
wrote it in the StreamYard chat. I put it friends. Of
We're
the Foot is my-
busy. We're
doing
busy
a
at
show
the
here,
moment.
man.
Well,
Any
I don't know,
happy
busy
feet or
that,
sad
so we're all
feet?
busy sometimes.
I really want to see any other person in the stands right now and what they think of you guys. Just on a live stream for another post-game show. You must be so popular there.
All right. Well, thank you so much
Yeah,
for calling.
thanks
We
for-
love all three of you.
We love you guys.
I love that call because if you listened in audio, you couldn't see any of it, and he was silent for most of it.
Yeah. Next
Thank
time
so
when you
much
do
for
that,
calling.
describe in detail where you are. Give us details, vivid details on what you're looking at,
The people around
what
you.
you guys look like. What the I don't even know what game that was.
It
Who
was
playing?
a Mighty
What the
Ducks game.
score? Ah,
I'll never not call them the Mighty Ducks. I think. Thank you so much to Joey and to LAX Andy and to Modelo Gandalf. A whole whack pack meetup at the Ducks game.
the whack pack. Let's get LAFC Luke on here.
LAFC Luke, any happy feet or sad feet from that beautiful, beautiful match we just watched?
Yeah, it was an incredible match. My happy foot is actually Nathan Ordaz, because Nathan Ordaz gave us the third goal that made it possible for us to get through on this if we hadn't gotten the last goal at the very end there.
Such a great point.
Holy shit.
Suck at all the Nathan Ordaz haters. Something David Martinez couldn't do in either game that Nathan Ordaz did in 10 minutes in the first game.
And I'll say that second goal, Sadfoot, that second goal only happened because of Marlon and the turf at Seattle. So the Sadfoot is the turf at Seattle injuring Marlon, bringing Segura into the game to get the handball. So really, it's a Nathan Ordaz, Marlon, Seattle turf game, if you ask us.
There you go.
Anything to make it not about what we just watched, I think is a great call.
Well, I like this portmanteau of the hat trick on the aggregate. I feel like it's a hat trick again, or a
that's good.
Yeah,
Aggregate.
We'll get there. Workshop.
Aggregate.
Aggregate.
Hat-trick-regate. Yeah.
Hat-trick-regate.
Yeah,
the one thing that's clear is that we should keep brainstorming and workshopping it now live on the show.
Yeah,
until we get
This
it.
is perfect. This is perfect.
Yeah.
People, this is the content that people are here for.
Yeah,
look,
us figuring out non-content.
Look, so that game sucked, but
Whoa,
we still
hot
are
take.
through. So everyone just ease up. You know who's not happy tonight? Seattle fans. They got their asses handed to them by Cruz Azul 4-1. So
Seattle probably should have rotated more in the game they played.
And by the way, everyone assuming Miami are through, which they probably are, but they've still got to play another leg on Thursday. So we don't necessarily playing Miami.
True.
We could be playing that other team.
If Miami doesn't go through, truly, yeah, we could be playing that other. What is it? Cavalier? Is that the name of the team?
Yeah, they're playing a team from Jamaica or something, right?
Or is it Puerto Rico?
I don't.
Whatever it is, to me, they're gonna have
35,000
supporters at that game on Thursday night. They're gonna have a sold out stadium. When we just played up against a crowd of 5,000, if that. That'd be generous. So
yeah. I don't want any Crew fans to give us shit for our attendance.
That's honestly, I'm adding that to my. You took the Luis happy foot. That is my happy foot. Is watching a barely half full Columbus stadium. Was it lower.com field? Fucking domain name in your
So Ruben, let me tell you what the weather is going to be for Saturday. It's going to be in the low to mid 60s. It's going to be partly cloudy. It's going to be perfect soccer weather. So you better be at that.
That's when we win. That's winning weather.
That's winning
That is
weather.
winning weather.
If
And
it's
also
any colder than 50,
Austin
we
is
lose.
winning weather too. Playing Austin is winning weather.
Luke, any other happy feet or sad feet before we let you go?
I think y'all have. I think there's plenty of ways to digest this game. My other happy foot is I didn't see the whole game, so that's a good
God
thing.
bless you.
Like, because just the 30 or 40 minutes that I watched, I think my husband thought he was going to have to take me to the hospital. So, like, one of our dogs kept jumping up on my lap and pawing at me, like, please get better, Papa. So,
Chill out.
I scared my dog when we scored the goal. I feel, and he's deaf. That's how much I scared my dog. Thank you, Luke. We love you.
Thanks, guys.
And, we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
We had a couple more super chats to get to as we plow through these.
We're back to this. Gerardo Rios, would you rather have Giroud or Mario G?
I think Mario has scored more goals for us.
Is that true?
Didn't he score? Did he ever score?
Has he ever scored?
Mario has upside. I don't know that Giroud does. Right?
Oh, you're talking about like in terms of like the buying and selling of players?
Yeah. Well, who are we going to loan Giroud to? I guess he could go to France. He could enjoy the third division in France.
I mean, that's a good yeah. I still think he's just he's gonna break through eventually and find it. It's just obviously extremely frustrating that it's taking this long. I don't think that I don't see a world where his time here ends with this being how he's still playing. That would be still insane to me.
Christian says that Mario did score an MLS against Charlotte. So something to remember. Okay. One MLS goal for a man that we consider a massive failure. 0. Send Giroud to Phoenix Rising is a very funny concept.
Another super chat from Efrain Benitez. Thank you so much, Efrain. Hot take. I prefer Bradley's LAFC to Dolo ball. Even if we didn't win anything, it was more fun. We're starting to see a lot of feedback from people, and I find this very interesting. A lot of people who genuinely prefer watching more fun soccer than watching winning.
Well, we won a lot with Bradley, but it was like we never won the big ones, right? We've won trophies with Dolo. But I agree. I think that kind of cuts to the heart of it, right? Like, and me, you and Vince were talking about this a little bit beforehand, just like it isn't when we had Bradley, I remember being like, all that matters is winning. And now that we're winning games that hurt to watch, I'm like, yeah, but you also want to like your team a little bit. And I know we're going to get shit from people. We just won against the Crew who we haven't beaten in forever, right? But there's not a single LAFC fan who watched that game that was like, boy, am I happy I watched that, right? And that, I think, is maybe the heart of this anger people feel towards Steve Cherundolo, who is easily the most winning coach we've had, right?
Yeah, I get it. I think in the end, I do prefer winning.
I agree with you.
I'm down to stomach this, is I guess where I'm coming from. Like I'll take it. I'll take the hits.
And like we said earlier, I think it's just that losing feels a little bit better when it's fun. But we lose less often now.
Yeah, and part of it is like I don't need to be right. Like part of this is like it's frustrating when you're like, this is how I think we should play, and then they play a different way and they lose, and you're like, it's kind of like you hate being proven right and you hate being proven wrong, and there's no winning in that regard of like how you see what could happen and should happen versus how they play. Like there's just always a misalignment there, and that's super frustrating sometimes. But like I'm the guy who's always like, we're down by 4 and we're in extra time, and I'm like, no, we'll see what happens. So like, I don't know. That's when we're scoring our first goal these days, and I'm down for it.
I think that's maybe not the best YouTube sports guy take, but I think it's right? Like I don't need to be right. I think there's people who are who have said Dolo out every week, and they say it when we play poorly, and they don't say it when we win, and then when we play poorly again, they're back in saying it. And it's like, yeah, I've defended the guy for a long time. If we decide to fire him at some point, okay, I'm probably going to be on board with that too. Like if it gets there, like I'm willing to be on board with it. And games like today, didn't love having him as our coach either, right? I'm just not there with fire this guy when he's brought us as far as he has since we've gotten here. We missed the playoffs one year with Bob Bradley. Look, this year's not over. If we keep playing this well, or
maybe we'll miss the playoffs. That'll be a more interesting conversation.
Right. I think if we keep succeeding long term, it's hard to fire your coach. And I think we just might need to suck up that it's not as fun to watch. But I don't need to be right. I could be wrong. I don't give a shit.
If you want Dolo out, maybe you should be rooting for us to lose more definitively. We need to play more definitively poorly.
Yeah.
So anyway, we've got a big friend of the foot. I just noticed you were here. I didn't know how long you were waiting, but Eric Holstrom,
welcome to the show.
The show.
We didn't see
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing?
Thank you for joining us. I brought you on pretty abruptly there. Sorry. We're so happy you're here.
Hey, I'm happy. Hey, long time listener, second time caller. I'm not driving this time either, which is great.
Thank you.
Thank
you. It helps when we don't have to lie. Any happy feet or sad feet from such an incredible match?
Oh, happy feet is the Turco, man. I was pacing nervously that whole game in my living room with a couple friends over, and I'm just like losing my mind in this game. And he came in and he kind of looked like a man among boys out there. Like, he looked like his decision making was so much quicker. He was really decisive with what he did, and everybody else kind of looked like they were trying to feel it out and not make mistakes. Defensively, he stayed pretty good, but he came in, he just looked so natural out there. For being here for 4 or 5 days was kind of crazy. So that's my happy foot.
I think that's a great one. I mean, we have a lot to look forward to with him for as long as we have him. If it's for the summer, if we figure out a way to keep him, if we figure out a way to get rid of Giroud so we can have him and Griezmann, would love that.
When he took that ball, we were just jumping and going, Turco! Like, our neighbors were like, what the fuck is going on over there?
I mean, it was such a well-timed run. Like, I'm so used to watching that run be made and us not get the ball that the fact that he got it, I couldn't believe that it was happening.
That's that old adage in sports that's like, whoever wants it more is going to get it. And he just wanted that ball more, and there was no stopping him. Man, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm of two minds of this. I part of me wants to give Bouanga credit for finishing that, but I think it's because we've watched chances like that not work out this season a lot more than we should have had to see. And the bar has lowered to the point where my instinct is to be like, that was a beautiful finish. We should really give him a lot of credit. When it's like, that should probably be a no-brainer, like a very easy finish. So I don't know how you guys feel about that, but he did the job. I don't know how difficult of a job that was.
No, it wasn't. I mean, that's automatic for Bouanga. I also think that Bouanga's normal scoring positions he gets in this year have not been nearly as good as that. And
completely agree with you. Yeah,
a lot of his chances are much more like half chances, and he puts a lot of those away. But man, Unders looked like a left-footed Bouanga to me, like looking at his videos. And if you look at his numbers, he's not a huge passer of the ball. He's got a massive left-footed shot. And I love it. If we get a Bouanga on that side, if we have two Bouangas basically in a game, it's going to be insane.
I mean, Martinez plays a little bit like Bouanga too. Let's just put them all up there.
Yeah. I like Martinez too, but he's missed some sitters as well that, he'll grow into it, but
they're not the same. Yeah.
You know what it is? The Under had the poise, right? Like when he's out there, it's just like you said, he could see the field in front of him. It felt like he was moving at a different pace than everyone else and knew what was going to happen before it happened. Whereas sometimes it feels like we get the ball and we just fucking run because that's what we've been doing for a while. And I think it'll be really nice to have someone with as much finesse as it seems like he might have.
Yeah.
Any sad feet from this match that I think we did so well?
How you could possibly find anything bad to take away from this game? But yeah, if you got anything.
I mean, the obvious sad thing is Giroud. I think his first 4 touches were to the other team, and then there was like the fourth one. He made that like pass in midfield that was just kind of like, and like that ball went like 2 feet. It's like, you're a big strapping fellow. Like, how do you kick it so soft? That doesn't even look possible.
It felt like effort tonight a little bit, right? I usually give a guy the benefit of the doubt with body language stuff, but I'm like, do you want to be here? Like, what's happening?
Man,
I've been not happy.
I've been sticking up for that guy the whole time. I mean, he's been slow, and I've been like expecting, all right, it's going to work. Or maybe even if he's not scoring goals, he's still contributing. I mean, after tonight, I kind of feel like a fool for defending him as long as I have at this point. Like, it's hard. You can't really defend him anymore at all. Like, he's a grown ass man.
I mean, like we said, it's okay to be wrong. And I feel like I defended him as well. And I'll be happy if he proves me wrong, but like easily one of our biggest, if not our biggest DP busts at this point, right? Like it's not even close. He's played a lot of games at this point.
No, it's true. It's true. He had that back pass too that he almost hoarded us tonight too. Like, man, and I hate bringing up even saying the name Horta, because if there's the worst player, like that is the bar to clear. And Giroud,
it's just so weird.
He almost backpassed himself into that like comparison, you know.
When he got that foul, I was like, I can't believe that the story of this is that Giroud somehow is going to cost us this game. And we were not that far from it being the case.
Man, I know. You know, Bobasi didn't have that great of a night either. That's the kind of other downside, because if that's a replacement, it's kind of like we're almost back to the drawing board, and whatever the mismatch is with like the type of player we need. I mean, if he's just here to get Griezmann here, like at what point is that just kind of like a Pyrrhic victory?
Well, and also, what if we don't get him?
Yeah, if he goes to PSG, I think was the big rumor.
Yeah,
I mean,
don't know.
Man,
there's something's wrong with that rumor. That feels a little bit like his agents are trying to boost up the price for us a little bit, right? Like it feels a little bit. That's a lot of money to pay for him right now. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you know, if Lloris was supposed to be part of this whole like French move, I mean, Lloris is just, I mean, one of the best signings I think that we've had at this point. The guy is, if he's not a candidate for MLS goalkeeper of the year at the end of this year, it's horrible. It's a big disrespect.
Absolutely. He's been incredible.
He needs to, the fact that he wasn't last year, I think is offensive. I say this all the time. There's a real East Coast bias when it comes to some of those the awards that require you to watch full games of soccer, right? Like they'll look at stats, but if you have to actually watch the games, the West Coast teams really suffer.
Also, goalkeeping is one of those things that if you're watching, it's much clearer, like how well they're playing, and compared to not watching it, and compared to just looking at a stat sheet and comparing goalkeepers.
Like your friend in Colorado said, right? Like the stats for goalkeepers are the least reliable of all the stats. They just don't know how to do it.
He said that,
yeah. Eric, thank you so much for calling. Please always call. You're always smarter than all of us.
I don't know about that.
The bar's low.
Great to see you, man. See you at the game.
Guys.
See you later.
I think we have one more super chat, and then we can get to our final caller, or at least final for now. The lines are still open, everyone. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by May. We're at
1,000 subscribers tonight.
1,000 subscribers.
We need to add 1,000 subscribers to our total tonight.
When we started, we were at 920. So we're getting there. We're getting close. So give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe if you haven't. We're so happy you're all hanging out with us. Alberto Lopez, thank you for the super chat. Under made an immediate impact, totally worth $25 million. Hey, it's not my money. I'd give it to him.
But not $25 million for Griezmann?
Well, I'll say what's funny is it's not $25 million to him, and in my mind, we're always giving them the money.
Yeah,
but
that's right.
The club is asking for $25 million.
Plus, when you give it to them, it's their agent, it's their business manager, it's their tax attorney. God, I mean, let's talk about taxes, Travis. That's what we're really here for.
After agent, manager, lawyer fees, and taxes in California, you're getting around 50% of your pay. So when you look at, although I feel like sports people, athletes. I feel like athletes don't have managers, right? Sportsmen, they just have agents and lawyers.
That's true. That's a huge advantage. But I don't know. Can you believe how little of the money the winner of the Mr. Beast reality show is actually taking home after taxes?
Is there a Mr. Beast reality show?
Yeah. Yep. Anyway, we've got another caller.
He's been hanging out for a while. First time on the show. First time on the show. Welcome, Justin.
Hey guys, first time caller. First time, long time.
Happy feet, sad feet. You know the deal.
Happy foot. Hear me out. Los Angeles.
Oh,
I'm a big LA fan, sports fan, right? Just all of it. UCLA basketball, USC football, just all of it. Just being around LA my whole life. Being a Lakers fan has taught me something called Lakers exceptionalism. There's a thing. Well, it's not a thing anymore. It's fact that the Lakers will always get a star. The Lakers will always be relevant. The Lakers are the Lakers, right? And I think that's starting to spread to everything else around Los Angeles. Things are just getting better. You talk about the Dodgers. They get Mookie Betts in one of the worst trades of all time. They get Shohei Ohtani. They're getting all these Japanese pitchers. They're breaking all the MLB rules. And things are just happening in the LA sports scene. And most of it's because it's LA. LA is just a place people want to go to. They make it work. And I think that's our team too. The fact that Lloris is here because he wants to be here. He's getting paid like $0. Like I think I know people that get paid more than him to like clean restrooms. He's literally, I think, like on the vet minimum or whatever that's even close to, I think like $100 grand. Because he wants to be here. Just his display today just reminded me of like the ghosts of Conca champions past. Like, remember like Vermeer? You guys remember that? Like, God forbid our front office.
I thought I
forbid our
dreamt that.
Yeah, God forbid our front office actually chooses our goalkeepers. Pablo Cisniega, remember that guy? You the best one, Jordan Blackman.
honestly,
Remember
barely.
him?
No.
Oh, I don't remember.
You
I
lost me
remember
now.
Cisniega. I don't remember Blackman. I remember
we've
Tristan
had
Blackman.
We've had some real bad goalies in our history. JT's kind of made it right with McCarthy and with Crepeau, but even then, that's 1.5 good goalies in our history before Uris came in. I mean, look, we saw Hasal. We picked Hasal. We saw what that looked like. So yeah, I think LAFC exceptionalism is becoming a thing. We'll see how true it is with Griezmann this summer if he comes on a free. Or if we pay, I guess we're gonna have to pay, but we'll see. So that's my happy foot.
Great happy foot. And I think you're right. People just want to come to Los Angeles, and will always benefit as a club because of that.
Like I was reading that New York Times article that was talking about Giroud, and I'm really happy they brought the fact that Lloris is signed on to nothing. Like Giorgio came on a nothing contract too. Bale came on a nothing contract. And it's one of those things where I don't know how much our front office has to do when these players want to come play in LA. So that's one of those things that kind of always confuses me. And that's why I talk about the front office quite a bit. It's just confusing and it's fascinating because it's something that we don't know anything about. So it's just fun to kind of speculate, how much actual effort do they put into these big signings? Or is it just them saying to their agent, hey, I want to live in LA?
Well,
I don't care
I
what
just,
team it is, I don't care what
I
team
talk
it is,
about it
just I
on
wanna
the
live in LA.
show. I'm a Knicks fan, and for the longest time, I remember telling myself growing up, like, well, people want to come to New York. It's a cool, like, it's a great place to live. But when you think about being like a rich athlete, you don't want to live in New York City. You want to live in Miami, and you want to live in Los Angeles, and that's where we're finding stars like, say, LeBron James want to go. But I was convinced he was going to the Knicks.
Oh, for sure, yeah, because you had all that cap space that one year. But I think it's a little bit different with them with the NBA because of like the contracts and with salary caps and stuff like that. And like, there's no like international idea of New York in play with American athletes, right? If I'm European, when I think of LA, I think of Hollywood, I think of the beach. You know how it is. It's the Hollywood version of it.
Sure.
And so that's what they want to come for. I mean, even Vela said in interviews, like, I came to LA because it's LA.
And
like he
is now a big Clippers fan. As we're talking about,
fan,
he's at every Clippers game now.
Is that a Kaiser Permanente thing? Because
interesting.
by them. Yeah, and
it might be, but he's courtside almost every home game.
He's personally sponsored by Kaiser Permanente.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's like a partner. He does like Instagram ads for them.
Sponsor them? Can I do that?
Yeah, if they want to pay you for Instagram,
they give him free healthcare.
Oh, that'd be cool. Imagine, like, you get 5 free X-rays this year.
Yeah, there's caps on everything, but it's still a good amount.
You have to do SpawnCon to get your healthcare in America, and I think that's
right. That's true. That's what you got to do.
What about sad feet?
The sad feet. I don't really care for the plan or the idea. I don't know if it was planned. It just kind of happened. The fact that we just let Darlington Nagbe just completely pull the strings in the midfield, like we weren't even pressing him at all. Yeah. And this is like the most accomplished midfielder in MLS history. Like he might be the best midfielder in MLS history. Like
Yeah, he's worth paying
and again, don't
attention
get me
to.
wrong. Like we've had better players, of course we have, but he has what 3 championships. He's won everywhere he's been. He's still very good. And it's just kind of interesting me because are we gonna let Busquets do that next week?
Probably, yeah.
Like
yeah, we're going.
Is your question or just rhetorical?
Yeah, like the actual best midfielder probably ever, like the best holding midfielder of all time. And he's just gonna do what he wants.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. This was looking like.
I mean, I think our midfield is pretty weak. All get like non-existent in a lot of ways. I think Jesus had a rough game. I've been really hot on him, and I think he did not have a very good game. Tillman didn't exist out there. Delgado had a decent game. I feel like Delgado has been our most consistent player this season, probably him and Sergi Palencia. Delgado has just been like a rock out there, and even he didn't have a great game. But Jesus looked bad tonight, I thought.
I do want to go to Jesus's defense a little bit. Like I don't know if you guys are like really paying attention to him because I just wanted to see, what positioning is he doing? He was playing as our 3rd center back before we had 3 center backs out there. So like we were really only playing with 2 midfielders. And it showed. We had no control in the midfield. And then, of course, when we took out Tillman, I don't know if you guys saw his reaction to that. He was like, me? And everyone in my house was like, yeah, you haven't done shit all day. Like, of course, yeah, you, dude. Like, get out of here. But no,
he still has
really
a fever.
Interested to see what that's going to look like with Busquets just carving us up, or are we going to press? Are we going to do anything different? Because at this point, I don't know what we do. What do we do? I don't know. We'll see. It's fun.
Yeah, I mean, I had no faith in our team going into Columbus, and we've pulled out an aggregate win. Let's see if it's possible. We had one really incredible game, and it saved our CONCACAF Champions Cup hopes. Weirder things have happened. We came back from 2-0 down against Leon and won in the Champions Cup or Champions League at the time. So it's a tournament for a reason. Messi has been barely playing this season, so there's a world in which we don't have to play him. But you're right that there's the talent of Miami goes much further beyond Messi. But
yeah, and they are beatable, right? And they are beatable.
Yes.
So that's the one thing that I will hold.
They lost in the first round.
Yeah, they are beatable.
But in 2 legs last year. Thanks for calling, Justin, and we'll talk to you soon.
You guys are the best.
I love first-time callers. I really love first-time callers.
I'm glad that he worked up the courage.
I can't believe there's a ongoing loud fight in the comments about Clippers versus Lakers, right?
I love it. I love it. I hope that I'm glad that everyone does understand that this is a place where you can talk about whatever the fuck you want.
And I want to say, I think we're all on the same page. We're rooting for the Knicks in the East. That's what the comments are doing.
Not really. No.
Darren, don't even bring it up. Let's get to some of the
stars.
No.
I'm not saying anything. In fact, I'm really just content. Anyway.
Jeremy Kaufman said this early on in the show. Denny is lousy this year. No touch when passing. Awful first touch. He waits for defenders to swarm him before making a move or taking a shot. One touch it. Don't be a turnover machine. I think that is fair in some ways. I think Denny has also scored a hat trick in this series and is the only reason we're moving on.
A hat trick again, grit. I almost had it. Hat trick again.
A trick again.
Hat trick.
Agri-trick.
We'll have to wait till the next time it comes around.
I just feel like he's always been this way a little bit, right? He takes too many touches, but the proof is in the pudding. Is that a saying? All's well that ends well. That's a saying.
The proof is in the pudding, Griget.
Don't forget to subscribe to this incredible. We're trying to get. We're dropping in numbers.
Oh well. Oh, we're at. What did you say? 920. We're at 92. We just dropped the 0 somehow.
Oh, great.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that I want Denny to do more is fucking pick his head up and pass. And I think Under had every right to take that shot tonight, and he said, "No, I'm going to pick my head up and give the person who has the easy shot the pass." And hopefully, with Under here, Bwanga will feel as if he has other options, and he doesn't need to barrel forward. I can't teach an old dog new tricks. I think that's the way he plays, and it's fine because he keeps scoring goals for us. It is very frustrating to watch this season because I do agree he's been sloppier than he's been in previous seasons.
Yeah, I do think it's kind of dumb how much more effort we seem to be putting on the pitch into finding enough room to take a shot versus passing to the open guy. Like we do a good amount to create opportunities where the defense is drawn to one area but we don't really mess with the ball at all. Once we've got it into the territory in the final third, once we're like, okay, this is like where someone could take a shot, then it's like, okay, let's just find the shot. But other teams like mess with the defense a little bit.
Well, and part of the reason I think it's been harder for Giroud to score is he scored a lot of balls in the air when he played in Europe, and we don't cross the ball.
We don't put the ball in the air.
We are direct at the goal, and then hopefully it bobbles to someone's feet, and Nathan Ordaz taps it in, or Ryan Hollingshead taps it in. Right, like the way that we play is so antithetical to how he scores goals. But that's not what we're talking about right now. I also want to say, Matt Timmons, I want Chanot back, please. Does anyone know what does the sheet say for Chanot for his injury? Because we last saw him
head injury.
So he got a concussion. We have to assume he had some sort of concussion.
Yeah.
Last time when he got injured, but this is a long time for a concussion. It makes you worry a little bit. Like, okay, hold on one second.
Yeah,
what?
Let's interrupt you. An absolutely insane, deranged.
Just want to make sure you meant to give us $99. If you meant to give us $9.99, we will reimburse you. Just want to we'll reimburse you what YouTube pays us, which is half of that.
We will find a way to make this right because it is wrong.
Okay, they said that they did mean to do it. Thank you, VA,
God.
so much for the super chat.
Thank you so
Honestly,
much.
Google also thanks you for their $50.
My family can eat.
Denis is going to have a revenge game against Messi. He really wanted to score one last season. Messi so much that he ignored LA. Oh, right. Yes. That's true. Oh no, he's got ghosts.
Let me finish
Let me
finish this for you for people who are just listening. It says he really wanted to score one last season versus Messi so much that he ignored LAFC GOAT Vela.
Oh man, that was a choice by Denny Bouanga that he had to make up for weeks. He had to look for Vela so many times after that, and maybe we need him to do it again because we need him to look up and pass the ball.
That is insane to think about that game. I guess for anyone who's watching this, I wonder what the intersection is between people who are watching this and people who did not see that game that we're talking about. Please let us know if I'm genuinely catching you up on this or if this is just completely a waste of time. But in that last match, the last time we played Miami, which was 2 seasons ago, Denny and Vela were up front together, which is interesting to think about now in the context of our current front guys, forwards. I don't know how to describe it. A very easy goal if he had just picked his head up and passed to Vela, who was wide open right in front of the net.
Which is what we talked about Under all night, right? Like,
yes. And I think it was building. There was a little bit percolating between the two leading up to that match because it was a thing that Denny had done a few times before, but not so glaringly. Where it's like he's got the ball, he's gonna create a shot for himself, he's gonna take the shot himself, he's not gonna pass to Vela, even though he's Carlos Vela. I don't know that Denny had made as much of a name for himself compared to Vela at that point. Vela was still there were calls for Vela being washed that did not come till later, I don't think. Maybe this was part of that.
Vela had a great
transition.
season that season, yeah.
Yeah. And Vela was the most animated and upset I have ever seen him on a pitch in that moment.
There are 2 moments that I can remember him getting visually angry. One was being taken out, I believe, in El Trafico, where he threw his captain armband down.
Oh yeah.
He was much more visibly angry in this moment where he stomped. He stomped like a Mario character.
He was like ground.
He put both arms up and down. He stomped and he flung his arm. It's etched in my memory because it was such an obvious fuck up from Denis. And Messi, I don't think Miami had lost yet with Messi, right? They had been on this incredible run, and it would have only been to tie, I believe, the game. I don't remember. Or maybe it would have been to take the lead. It just was such a important moment where Bouanga remembered that there are other people on the team that are good. And I wish sometimes he would do that now. I also don't want to lose sight of what VA has done right now. Thank you so fucking much. What the fuck? Truly, this is we work really hard on this. And so like the little tips always really make us feel like, okay, people appreciate it. This is insane. This is like Magic Johnson leaving a 500% tip on the bill. So thank you so much, VA. It really means a lot.
Thank you. Thank you, Va.
Va. Kick the stand. Okay, hold on. We're going to put every Va comment on. VA.
Yeah.
I did mean to do it. This is in honor of Denny.
Oh my gosh.
He kicked the ball into the stands and the ref refrained from a yellow. More coming, boys.
Oh my God.
Who are you?
Yeah.
Who are you?
VA gets automatic on the screen anytime you comment from now on. That was the lifetime package that you just purchased, my friend.
If you're not a patron, we'll give you a free patron subscription as well, so you can hang out in the Discord just for that one.
Vaughn? Is your name Vaughn? Is that what's happening?
Vaughn. Thank you, Vaughn.
Vaughn.
Theo Vaughn. Nope, spelled differently.
If it's Theo Vaughn, I don't know if we should. I don't know. I'm on the fence about that guy.
No, I think he's funny. I think he's dumb and funny. Right? Like I've decided that not everyone funny needs to be smart. He's dumb and funny. Is he hurting the world? Not up for me to decide.
Okay.
Yes, VA is 100% our sugar daddy now. I will do anything VA asks. I will do anything.
At a certain point, we get effusive enough that it's like where it's skewing it the other way too. It's like this is not. Now we're setting the bar too low.
I have said that it is $10,000 for feet picks. I will give feet picks for $10,000 and not any less. And you, let me say,
I would give feet picks for way less.
Will not be disappointed.
I don't give a shit,
Darren. The way people want feet picks, you can really milk them. So just like you're not going to be disappointed if you give me the 10K. And I want you to know
we're not soliciting this on the air on our show. There's already enough confusion with what our show is called.
Shout out to Amirion Law. Okay, yeah. Shout out to them. God bless VA. God bless Hugo Lloris. Possible sponsor. Would love to have a sponsor. Put us in contact.
Sponsor the show. We can do like actual sponsorships.
We were talking to a pizza place for a while. They wanted to do it, and I forgot to follow up. So if you want quality sponsorship like that,
yeah, we run a tight ship here. David says, "Sorry, Travis, I'm on a budget." Darren, let's see them toes. Just toes? I mean, I can give you a deal on that.
Darren, I'm telling you, the feet people will pay insane amounts of money. You gotta go higher than you want to go.
This has been my whole problem, my whole career. I don't price myself high enough.
Legit,
I don't know my worth.
Legit, we'll talk to you about sponsorship if you want to, Vaughn. Shoot us a DM. We could figure something out. Steven Acosta says, we miss Ilie and Ilie type. Well, good news. He'll be here on Saturday. Maybe we can convince him to come back over.
I mean, we're going to talk about this on the preview episode that we are recording in a couple of days, but I'm a little scared to see our ex out with their new partner.
And it's a breakup where it's like, is it our fault?
It might have been. It's not like when you think it. We didn't think it was his fault, and we didn't think it was our fault. We kind of thought it was mutual, but then time passes, and you're like, if that's what we thought, maybe it's our fault.
And I'm not over him, right? Like it's a breakup where you're about to see your ex at a party, and it's like it was amicable, but they're dating someone new, and it's not. Even though you are too, you miss him.
Which feels weird.
Mike Gray's offering $100 a pop. No fucking way I'm showing you my feet for $100. 10K minimum. 10K per foot now, Mike.
Absolutely.
It's going up.
Mike, let's talk.
Also, Vaughn, I need a lawyer at the moment. So let's actually talk. I need to make a will.
Wow.
That might be below your pay grade, but
lead gen comments.
I'm not
going to ask any more follow-up questions about that, Travis.
Oh, I need a will. I'm going to blow my brains out if we keep playing this way. We've been flagged by YouTube. The show has been taken down.
Show's down.
Everyone
should have a will.
Yeah. I want to have end of life care shit. I'm getting old.
We're doing the ad. Look at this.
When you need end of life care. Hey, my dad died a little over a year ago. And boy, did I think about that.
Here we go again.
Also, I've been to Europe, so I know what I'm talking about.
Chris says, I straight up love Ilie. I'm going to cry on Saturday. If you see me at the stadium, please give me a tissue. Listen, we all need the tissue, Chris. I'll
Bring your
try,
own
but
tissue, laugh.
like we all feel this way.
It is very. Can you think of a player that will like McCarthy went to the Galaxy? It's a different feeling, right? Oh, okay. I felt really
before that. I didn't feel anywhere near the same about McCarthy and Ilie anyway.
well. How am I blanking on his fucking name? Our goalie who shattered his leg, Crépeau. I have a real fondness for Crépeau, and when he came back, that felt really special. But Ilie was our captain, and Ilie was here longer. He was more important part of the team, and most important of all, follows us on Instagram. And
that is easily the most important. Yeah.
Whenever I see a man who follows me on Instagram, I'm gonna cry. Shout out to whoever pulled over on York Boulevard in Highland Park and said, I love Happy Feet, and then drove away. It happened so fast that I couldn't see your face. So if it was someone I knew, I'm sorry.
You're talking about following you on Instagram. That guy followed you in real life.
Yeah. Yeah. I was trying to get 2 coffees into my car while not getting hit on a very busy road. And so I was very startled.
Lisa wrote, you need to trust. VA wrote, Lisa, spot on. Look at this, VA. Look, we're doing the ads. Okay. We're doing it. We're educating people. People are getting something out of this. This is good.
Fluffhead says, call Dolo law. You will die for sure, but it won't be fun.
Wait, no, you'll get what you want, but it won't be fun.
Yeah. Well, T Grace has tied it up with Cincinnati. What's their aggregate at now? 2-2. That's a good game. Pop that on. They tied it up in the 64th.
You're telling people to watch something different than what
people can do. A second screen experience. This is 2025.
Yeah, that's true.
And if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit subscribe. We love you. We're trying to get to 1,000 by May. I've been told that saying goals is helpful.
Saying, oh, you mean like goals that you're trying to achieve?
We're trying to get to 1,000 by May. It would mean a lot if you could help us out.
That's right. Got it.
Right?
Yeah.
Because then they're part of something.
Yes. I thought you meant soccer goals. I got confused. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, goals are also important. And we scored one tonight.
We had one goal. That's true.
Walkable cities, huh?
Is Vince back from LAX yet?
If he was, he would not come back. Amanda, Vince had to... No, he didn't go to LAX. He went to Long Beach. He had to pick up his wife or girlfriend or partner from Long Beach Airport.
We don't really ask personal questions of each other. We don't really know each other that well, all of us. We're not.
Did you know that the Ontario airport is the official airport of LAFC?
I did know that. They had a meet and greet with Eric Duenas there last season. You had to go
they
through
really
security,
pulled out all stops for Eric. You had to go through security to meet Eric Duenas?
I think so.
No, you need a ticket to go through security.
A ticket to see Eric Duenas is enough. At Ontario Airport.
Actually, on Ontario.
If that's not a good ad for Ontario Airport, I don't know what is.
The Ontario Airport security is just a guy with a wand.
Lobbing Scorchers is on the horn.
Okay, bring him on.
What's going on? Let's do this.
Wait,
Ari, any happy feet or bad feet?
Ari doesn't. He's got the stream plan.
Well, there's too many. There's too many. I don't know what to do. There's multiple people.
Wait, close this tab.
Okay, we're gonna take you off for 1 second. You'll bring you back on when you figured out what the fuck you're doing, Seattle. Because I know what you're not doing. Getting to the quarterfinals of the CONCACAF Champions Cup.
That was like FaceTiming with my parents.
Okay, I have some champagne upstairs. Should I go get it?
Hey guys, how's it feel to advance? Can't relate.
Honestly, bad.
Honestly, not good.
Yeah. Wait, so okay, Noah was keeping track. I wasn't. I was watching Seattle. Like, what? Are you crashing out? What's going on?
We've talked ourselves out of the crash out a little bit.
Okay, we need that.
It is 100% one of the hardest games I've watched as a fan of this team, and in the end, worked out fine. We scored in the final second. But there was a real chance that they scored. Like, Lloris saved a goal line ball that might have been a goal. They just don't have the goal line technology to see if it was a goal or not.
CONCACAF, baby.
Nice.
I love
CONCACAF.
that.
Well, we're about to do our show, so we'll get out of your hair. But real quick, I did want to ask you guys: did you see Steve C called out Bouanga? What was up with that?
Did he?
He's been on kind of a streak of calling players out lately.
I don't. Okay.
This was after Seattle.
After
game.
the Seattle game, he said that the subs were not up for it in terms of effort and mentality. I'm like, Bouanga was one of the subs. What do you mean?
I think Bouanga had a bad game against you guys. It felt like everyone was phoning that in. I feel
everyone
like
had a bad game.
Yeah, I mean, it was not. I'm comfortable with him calling out Bouanga. We were already talking about this show. He's played a little bit sloppier this season. He's played way more selfish than in the past.
Well, that's okay. We can take him off your hands because Jordan Morris just exploded his hamstring. Paul Arriola doesn't have a knee anymore. And Pedro de la Vega has no hamstring as well. So we'll take him off your hands. And straight up trade. You can
at a certain point, guys, you got to realize that the turf might be the common denominator here.
It was on grass. It was on grass.
Well, if you play enough on turf, it doesn't like put you in a great position.
They're weakening. You guys are big turf discourse on Happy Foot Sad.
Oh my God, you guys love turf. These are some turf lovers over here. All right, so you guys.
Wait. Before we go, enjoy the easy path.
Easy path. We have Columbus and Miami, you fucks. Okay, God damn it. They did to me what I do to Jeff. That's not fair. That's not fair.
On our show.
You can't do that to my you pieces of shit.
You know what? They had to blow off some steam. It's okay. They lost tonight. We won tonight. They can't handle it. They rotated the squad against us and they got the win, but they didn't rotate enough. It was their starters that got the goals. So clearly they could have rotated more. Our show is not sponsored by Big Turf.
No, they're sponsored by Big Turf.
They're sponsored, absolutely.
They can't say a bad word about Big Turf.
They don't know how.
We had a couple of super chats while that was happening.
Efrain Benitez, another super chat. Thank you so much. Ontario Airport is great. Agree.
Tigres just scored.
What? I don't know where they are in the bracket. Is this good for us?
Tigres.
Or is it just an exciting game?
It has nothing to do with us. It's just that they're beating Cincinnati now, who look like they had a shot. Ontario Airport is great. Never been. It's
nice and small and quiet. It's on right off the 210, so there's an HOV lane if that's your thing.
I need everyone to know I'm not doing a layover. I'm not doing a layover. I don't care how bad the traffic is to LAX, and that's
Travis
what I want out of Ontario.
This is fun. Travis and I have, I think, very different flying preferences. Beyond just that I like Spirit and you don't, but
I like comfort and you like physical pain.
Okay, well that's one. There's more to the list though.
Thank you again to VA for the $99.
Thank you, Manuel Rajo, for our super chat. He says, should LAFC go after Gignac in the summer window? Oh my God, a question about soccer. Okay. Let me get back into the mode of doing something useful. Should LAFC go after Gignac in the summer window? He can score when it's highly needed, and he'll replace Giroud. He can be our new Bale. How old is he?
I think we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves.
Does he have any interest in leaving?
I just don't. I don't know anything about his contract. Let me talk about the Giroud piece. I don't think we're getting rid of Giroud this summer, right? I think his contract is over at the end of the year. We're willing, I bet, to ride that out. There's a world in which they come to him and they say, hey, would you negotiate a buy down? I don't know if they would do that because it reflects poorly for DPs in the future, but you also don't want DPs to phone it in. It just feels like a risky thing to do, especially while you're trying to get his best friend or one of his good friends to come here to say hey, fuck off, right? We promised you a bunch of money and we don't want to pay it anymore. You could buy him out of his contract. That's a lot of fucking money. I just don't think we're going to be replacing Giroud. I think there is a much more likely chance that if we sign anyone cool this summer, it'll be an Under spot or we sell Bouanga, which there were rumors of in the past. I just think we have a year left with Giroud and we might need to fucking suck it up and understand it's a bust. I would love to be wrong and say we get him off our hands and I have a Giroud jersey. But
I still have hope. I
think we just need to know we're probably not getting rid of him this year.
I'm not defending how he's played at all, and I won't be doing that. And I'm
not scored again. No need to turn it on. Those of you walking away, no need to turn it on.
I'm not going to be someone defending him and saying it's all about. At a certain point, yes, we're not compatible with him, and he's not compatible with us. But at a certain point, if you're that good, then you should be good enough to at least meet us in the middle. That said, I do have hope that he will not be this bad he will turn it around and then be good for the rest of his time here. And then once we're able to evaluate the entirety of that time here, I don't know what people will think, but maybe it will still be, maybe he'll play great toward the end, but overall it will still be a bust.
I think there's, in my mind, I compare him to Bale and Chiellini, but both of those players came not on DP contracts, right? And that was an important thing to remember. They came and didn't take up one of those slots. And Chiellini was an incredible part of this team. Lloris came on a non-DP contract, an incredible part of this team. Giroud got a DP contract because he was playing really well and had been for a year and a half at a league that is in a league for a team that is considered a much higher level than here. What we're learning is that the pace of our team and the pace of this league, and honestly, the physicality of the younger defenders is something he can't handle right now. And his age is just catching up to him. And it's just something we have to deal with. I think it is, Eric says this a little bit earlier, to not give Giroud the equivalent of a full season would be bad. I agree. We are a month and a half into the season. Let's give him a year. He's one of the best players of all time. I know that we're not giving him the benefit of the doubt. He sucks for us. He's been bad for us. I would love for him to not be on the team right now and for that slot to be open. We have his contract. I think it's insane to not ride it out to the end, especially because it's up this year.
Yeah, I agree. And I want to see him. I want to keep watching him play. And hopefully he will, maybe I'm a fool, but hopefully he will play well. And I want to keep hoping for that. Douglas Johnson, great comment. He says exactly right. Giroud will continue on the team. I didn't mean to say great comment because you said we were right. Giroud will continue on the team and he's worth it.
You guys are really smart. So right.
It's so right. Man, you know who's really smart? That guy who said we're smart. Giroud will continue on the team and he's worth it even if he does nothing except getting Griezmann across the pond. That's a good point. And Justin brought up earlier, who called into the show earlier, that Lloris just wanted to be here. I wonder, I don't know what the timing was of when they were talking to Giroud and that was in the works versus when Lloris came to, but I wonder if that has some, Lloris, I'm sure, is happier being here with Giroud here. So if he's just a locker room glue for the team, then that's a set of benefits that can also be factored into this. Not that it makes his play any better on the pitch, but maybe it's making other guys play better on the pitch. I don't know.
I'm sure he has stuff to teach Abobasi. I remember last season seeing Giroud put his arm around Ordaz and talk to him after a game. So it's it is helpful to have a guy like him around. Is he worth the money? Is he worth the slot? No.
Yeah, that's different.
But I don't think we need to punt him back to Europe right away. I think it's a bad look, and I agree we should give him a full season. If you haven't read that article in The Athletic about how bad he has been for us, I think what was great about that article is it confirms some of what we've been saying about why he's not working, but it does it with data and it shows where he got the ball and how he was played when he was overseas versus now. And the way we play, he just can't keep up with Bouanga and Martinez. He needs a slower style. He needs the hold up play, and he needs to find the ball in ways that work for him. But the team doesn't work like that, and our clientele, our roster isn't built that way. And it just might turn out that it was a bad signing by JT because he's not a miracle worker. Plus, he's aging. The speed part, he was never fast, and he's certainly not fast in MLS, which is a relatively fast and physical league comparatively to many of the leagues he knows.
Yeah. I'm kind of sick of talking about him at this point.
The situation he's not on the team anymore. Don't worry about him. It's over. I think if Under is incredible, that's when it gets hairy, right? Where we're we can't really keep this guy.
Yeah. I think you hit the nail on the head of the money is the issue. It's not just having him here just symbolically, there's definitely enough there for him to stay and contribute to the team. It's how much we're paying for that matters.
People remarking that we're still going. Okay, we don't have to do this, you fucks. We were having a good time talking.
Yeah.
I don't know. You guys are still commenting. What's worse, us talking or you watching? You pieces of shit. You called in and now you came back, Jeff. That's worse. We got another super chat from William Lamb. Thank you so much for your super chat. Your graciousness always means the most to us. We love our listeners. Third goal for Tigres looked like Cincinnati will be gone. MLS teams keep biting the dust. We're one of the few still around.
We've only played other MLS teams.
Hot take from Eric F. Until we see a Mexican team, this is the Open Cup.
It is.
And we won the Open Cup, the most important tournament in American soccer
That's
history.
true. And if we lose, it's
matters.
no longer the Open Cup, and this tournament does not matter. That's important. Ephraim
Happy
P
big
says-
birthday. Oh, keep
says-
going.
Another super chat. He says, keep going.
Thank you, Ephraim.
Thank you.
Ephraim gives us $99 over the course of the episode.
He does that. Yeah, he knows how to manipulate us and make us do what he wants long term.
It's Jeff's big birthday. Everyone wish
Happy
Jeff a
big birthday, Jeff.
They keep talking, hoping for another $99. We're trying to give him his money's worth. We hit, so now it's $1 a minute. We got there.
If you give us $99, you give us the time and place. We'll do a private live stream. That's one person in the audience.
Look, thank you guys so much for hanging out. Please subscribe if you haven't. Walkable City Mexico edition. I haven't been to much of Mexico. Where should I go?
I haven't been to.
I know
Mexico.
Mexico City. I know is supposed to be incredible. I'd love to go.
I've been to.
I've only been to Mexico once. I've been to Cabo, which I know is nice. You know, so many super chats suddenly.
Oh my God!
Happy big birthday, Jeff. Ephraim
Happy big
Benitez.
birthday.
Thank you. Not sending that money.
Is that
to
a
Jeff.
super chat from Jeff Todd?
Thank you, Jeff. Jeff
oh
felt
my
bad.
goodness, Jeff.
Gringo ass Travis. Yeah, look at me. What do you mean? I know what I am. I don't want to. I don't want to layover, and I haven't been to Mexico that much.
Oh God, UV. Happy 311 day.
Karma is the color of your energy.
Karma?
Karma is your boyfriend. What is that song? That's Taylor Swift. Amber is the color.
Amber is the color of your energy. Yes.
Oh, this is a great comment. Cheap viewers on streamboo.com. Don't forget to remove the space. Don't forget to use the code @Q6DH. I love when this happens.
Yeah. Timotej Budovic always comes original on 311 day. Thank you so much, Timotej.
Thank you so much. Hey, all mixed up with that comment.
We're always down to read that kind of comment on this show. So keep them coming.
Dating ourselves with all these, the fact that we can name this many 311 songs.
This is bad.
Two more super chats. I want to ask this one first from Edgar, $2. Thank you so much, Edgar. Has anyone asked Jeff why he spelled his name wrong? I don't know, Jeff. Why? On your big birthday, will you answer that question?
It's the anniversary of that name existing.
It's the anniversary of the worst decision his parents ever made, having him.
No, that's not true. That's not how the anniversary for that works. That decision was made on a different day.
At Edgar, my mom's went to college and thought she was high class. Terrible mistake. I see.
Okay.
Okay.
This is getting detailed and complicated and boring.
Fluffhead says thoughts on Under's low taper fade. I didn't see the photo tonight. Can someone put a link to a photo in the chat and we can comment on it? Thank you so much, Fluffhead, for the super chat.
Is Fluffhead a way that you might describe that haircut?
No.
A
low taper fade is a very specific thing, but I didn't see it on him. I feel like I've learned in my life to not comment on hair. And so I don't do it very
Travis,
often.
you comment on hair pretty frequently.
I think you do. Do. I don't comment on hair that much because...
Have I ever commented on hair? I don't even know.
You talk about bleach hair a lot. You like when they bleach their
Oh,
hair.
that's true. No, I do that. Yeah.
The thing I comment about is
true.
what I want to be a sponsor of the show, Topic Hair Fibers. I love Topic Hair Fibers.
Topic.
If you are thinning at all, and let's just say we know who we are. And if I go to Turkey in the off season and suddenly that's gone, don't worry about it. Under will take me around when I'm there. But if you're thinning at all, this is not an ad. Topic Hair Fiber works so well. You pop it on top. It blends in with the hair. It looks real. I promise you, get it. Give it a shot. You'll be surprised how well it works. They got
Sounds
plenty
a
of
lot
colors.
like an ad for not
This
an
isn't
ad.
an ad. I've been using Topic, and sure, I have a bald spot sometimes, but it's much worse if I didn't use Topic hair fiber.
I am not aware if we're in an ad that we're in an ad.
I'm doing
which
it on the
feels
side.
weird. Like, do you know that we're in an ad, but I don't? Marcial Soto.
Yes,
thank you for the super
Marcial.
chat. He says nonstop, or we are not flying. Oh my goodness.
It is
Thank you
not
for the
worth
super chat.
the extra time. It's $100 more for a direct flight. Usually, it is not worth the 3 hours of the layover, or
Okay.
even the hour of the
Are we getting
layover.
into
It's
this?
$100. I would pay $100 to skip
Okay.
that 1 hour.
Here's when I prefer flights with stops. It's when you're getting a flight that has a stop so that the takeoff and destination airlines are in more convenient locations, so that the time and hassle of getting to and from an airport is alleviated by a different route that has a stop.
I don't think I've ever been stuck in LA. I live far from LAX. I don't think I've ever been stuck in LAX traffic that is longer than what it would take to deboard, find another gate, and reboard an aircraft.
I like to take red eyes. I like to find flights where I'm wasting the least amount of time that I could be doing something fun in the place that I'm going to. And the LAX to Burbank is a nightmare. I guess if you take the Van Nuys shuttle, it's still kind of a nightmare. It's just the amount of time it takes in a car. I live right near the Burbank airport, so I would much rather go. I can literally walk to the Burbank airport and end up where I'm going and not have to go anywhere in between.
It is
on a
fair. You
layover.
live literally walking distance from Burbank. That does change it, right? I have to still drive 20 minutes to Burbank. It's not
Yeah.
Burbank obviously is a much easier experience, but I cannot fly. There are so many fewer direct flights that it also sometimes costs more to fly out of Burbank, and you don't save the
It
money
does
with the
cost
layover
more.
flights.
I genuinely save the money because of how much it costs for an Uber from LAX to my house. Why are we? This isn't interesting.
I think it's very interesting. The numbers are going up. Here's
Why do you
what
guys keep watching?
Here is the thing that I think about layovers. I think New York to LA is not a long enough flight.
My
deal
kids
with
need
the
to go to
layover.
bed.
Here's what I think. If you're on a long haul flight, my wife just had to fly back from Singapore. That's like a 15-hour flight. She flew Singapore to Hong Kong. It was Hong Kong to LA. I guess there isn't really. I was gonna say there has to be a layover, but I don't think there's a layover from Hong Kong to Los Angeles that makes sense. So I take it back, unless you're stopping in like Hawaii.
Or like a giant yacht.
Yeah, if you're landing on like what is it called?
That'd be fun, right? It's a cruise layover. Why don't they do that, huh? Land on an airplane. Is an airplane hangar?
What is it called? Air. I keep wanting to say air traffic controller. The aircraft carrier. That's what we're looking for.
Sure, yeah.
What
Guys,
topic? Once you pop,
let's
the
make
window
this a
up.
thing. You land on a cruise ship. You have a cruise until the flight takes off for the next destination. Layovers are fine if it's on a freaking cruise in the middle of the ocean.
This feels like one of those things that like Elon Musk would come up with. Like it's like, I'm going to build tunnels and that'll fix the traffic.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, okay, we'll just put a bunch of boats in the ocean and the planes are going to land on those moving boats.
Yes.
And these commercial pilots who are not military pilots. Also, I don't know if you've ever watched a plane land on an aircraft carrier. It lands hard and then it just pulls to a stop. Like the people scream on normal landings at the airport. I can't imagine how they deal with the hook that they do with the plane.
Yeah. No, it wasn't a sincere suggestion. Debates on walkable cities and flight advice somehow less painful than the game we all watched. Or was it I think it was a little more painful when we both paused to just read that silently together for a minute.
That's how you know it's been an hour 45.
We brought the comment onto the screen and we were like, cool, pause to read.
Here's what I'm going to say. We're going to 2 hours, Darren. I don't care if your kids need to get put down. Tell Allie it's Trav's fault. All right? Tell Allie we got a sponsor tonight.
You're underestimating how often I use that.
And she listens, so she's gonna know.
It works every time. She's like, yeah, that checks out.
This still on. I left for like 20 minutes. Love that. I want this to be on 24 hours a day. This is the Truman Show now. You exist in my world. Dreamcast better than NES. I don't really compare Dreamcast to
we're
NES.
going there.
I had them both. I had
This
both.
is the same guy who brought up 311 Day.
And let's just say we were down to talk about that, and we're down to talk about this. And if you're gonna leave a comment, you gotta come original.
Yeah.
So,
something about homebrew bare ass or something. What's it called?
X Firminex begging us to talk about LAFC. What's the best starting three now? I think.
Okay,
if
Nick
Under
Hexum, Peanut on bass, and who's the rapper?
I think Dreamcast. Dreamcast is one, and then you go to the original Xbox.
Original Xbox, yeah, I had that.
Honestly, Switch. I feel like those are my three. No, N64 is better than Dreamcast.
Okay, Bwanga, maybe Under, and Abobasi. What?
Yeah, I think it's actually pretty easy, right? We start Abobasi in the center, we put Under on the right where he plays, and we put Bwanga on the left. That's easily our best starting three, right? And then I don't think Under is healthy enough yet to start. I think we'll see him off the bench a bit as he gets his reps up, but he's going to take Martinez's spot. We love Martinez, but Under is just a higher caliber player. And I think we'll see Martinez off the bench. And I think Nathan Ordaz, for as many goals as he scored for us, we're going to see a lot less of him.
Super sub, Nathan Ordaz. Thank you, Cobborn. Offbeat bare ass. That's right. This is We Erasure. We erased itself.
I know he's right. We had a cultural impact that we cannot deny. That was, I think, the long tail of the Switch is maybe higher than the Wii, right? Like the Wii was a very important cultural moment, but it really was just Wii bowling that we all liked. There weren't really that many games we all played. The Switch
does making a Wii character count as a game?
Oh yeah, a Memoji or whatever.
The Memoji before Memojis, or is that GameCube?
Show us the caller leaderboard. I will not be showing you the power rankings. That's for me and for me alone.
I've never even seen it. I don't know it. I can't see it.
Darren's on it. He doesn't know where he ranked. I consider Darren a caller.
So that tells you enough, I think.
GameCube more important than Wii? Now that's a discussion because the GameCube.
The last 20 things have not been discussions.
Here's what I'll say. The GameCube did not have. So I was at the period of time in my life where I didn't want to be seen as, let's just say it, gay. It was the 90s and I was scared of being called that by people. And the GameCube had a more little kid feminine quality. So I didn't have a GameCube. And I want to say my friend had it and I wanted it so fucking bad. But because of toxic masculinity, I couldn't have the GameCube. And now I wish I had GameCube. And I wish that I could go back in time and tell my younger self that I should have bought a GameCube. And I'm hoping that that's not the case with young people now, but it was the 90s. Can't Hardly Wait was a movie that people watched. And don't watch that. It doesn't hold up.
Oh my God, would I be shocked if that held up?
The GameCube came out when George W. Bush was president. Is that true? Okay, I was in high school, I guess. No, that's not true.
I mean, toxic masculinity is at all ages. it's a problem always.
Yeah. And look, I'm just being honest. I don't think I saw it as like a girl thing, and I was a young, sad virgin, terrified of being made fun of. And so I didn't get it. And I wanted it so bad. And I regret it. And if
just
you're
be
watching
yourself
this,
and play games.
Yeah.
If you want to play games.
Exactly. 2001. Okay. So it was my first year of high school.
Okay.
Do you guys think 2001 was better for toxic masculinity?
2001 is UB. That's the year from which all of your comments are coming from tonight.
We have 10 minutes to go, Darren. Your kids understand.
Oh boy. Guys.
PSP or Switch. I've never had a PSP.
All super chats from here on out will help support my divorce.
Well, you have a lawyer now, Darren.
Yeah. I hope I don't need you, but
Pikmin was so good on GameCube. The fucking Harvest Moon on GameCube was so good. I wanted it so bad, and I just couldn't bring myself to do it. I was a white trash boy.
I had N64.
Me too. I went N64 original Xbox. Yeah.
I went Atari N64.
Atari? You had Atari?
Yeah. Oh, 3DO. That was a miscue.
What really was 3DO? Is that the Sega?
It was the Sony. Nope, not Sony. It was the Panasonic competitor to PlayStation that came out just before it.
Thank you so much for the super chat, Ephraim, for the Darren divorce fund.
Okay, I'll give it back to you if I don't need it. I didn't realize that PlayStation was coming out right after, and PlayStation was slightly better but way cheaper, and I thought we had to shell out the money for the 3DO. So my brother and I convinced my parents that we had to get it. We were saving up for a game system for years because we had the Atari, and we were holding out, and we got the wrong thing. And they're probably listening, and I don't know if I've ever admitted that was the wrong choice.
Do you remember the Sega CD?
Move. Yep.
Sega CD my cousin had, and I was really envious, but that sucked. I had loved my Dreamcast. I went NES, and we had to skip the next one because we couldn't afford it. N64 I got for Christmas. And then I got original Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
Then I skipped for Dreamcast was before original Xbox. And then skipped for a long time. I skipped a whole generation, and then I went PS4, PS5.
I stopped from original Xbox. And then whoever brought that, I don't know what the system was, who brought it to our apartment in New York after we graduated from college, but it ruined me. Anyway, Ryan Olsen, just before this comment, we had him on the screen, made a great, he says, GoldenEye does not hold up, unfortunately, and he's absolutely right. It does not hold up, and it is very unfortunate. That has happened to me too. The original, I don't know if there's been like remakes or anything like that, but the original one is really not what you think it was.
It's hard graphics wise to watch, but it was the most fun game you could play with your friends outside of Mario Kart, right? And it was probably those two games were the games that like got us through. GoldenEye and Mario Kart.
Before we could get N64, we used to go to Blockbuster and rent the entire system and just GoldenEye for the weekend, which was a thing you could do every now and again. So that was great.
I remember at Blockbuster, you could also rent the entire system, and I rented a Virtua Boy. Do you remember that? Where it was like a fake virtual reality. And there were a bunch of lawsuits because people pulled out their neck. It sucked. Best soccer video game. I want to tell you what it's not. EA 25 career mode. Because why am I answering fucking emails? I just want to play a season as a single team, and you make me do training every week. You make just let me play the fucking game. I don't even care about the transfers. Just let me play a season and maybe make it to the Champions League. Why am I answering emails?
It's Severance-esque. They're testing how much they can get away with on you.
It's like, I know it's called career mode, but it shouldn't feel like a job. It should feel like a fun
This
game.
is a career. This is a career.
I already have a job. And
this is the career you pay to have.
Oh, multiplayer Star Fox 64. You're so right. And also single player. Do a barrel roll will be etched in my brain.
I have to go.
Is next, Darren, we are 5 minutes away.
I can't do it.
Okay, I'm going to keep going for the 5 minutes if you got to go tuck your fucking kids in or whatever. Grow up. Grow up.
Oh,
my wife's at work while I do this.
Is she still at work?
This is a great time to bring up
Hacks on Max, baby.
Trailer out now. Do they want to sponsor us?
No, of course not.
Season 4 of the Emmy award-winning comedy that my wife fucking created and won a Best Comedy Emmy for last year. The trailer came out today. It's back April 10th. It's as good as all the other seasons, which is somehow I don't know how they keep doing it. I need you to watch it because I see her so infrequently that it has to be worth it. So please watch Hacks on Max on April 10th.
Just a moment of silence. No, I agree. It's the best show ever. Watch.
Darren has to edit this. No, he doesn't. We're not editing this.
I mean, I do.
Will there be an LAFC reference in the new season of Hacks? No, but I do know that there was a brief period of time where they found out that Kike from the Dodgers was a fan of the show, and I was begging them to put Kike Hernandez on the show because I'm like, he's genuinely funny. He will be good on the show. And it didn't happen.
Watch VC Carlos Vela with a minor role.
Play the trailer. Can I pull up a video on here? How do we do that?
I mean, if you want to get our video taken down, you can.
Why? You can do trailer reactions.
If you want to get into it, it depends on what their content ID claim policy is set to. But it is an automated system, so whatever their policy is set to will trigger. Anyway, another moment of silence while we read to ourselves.
Here's what I was trying.
What
to
are you guys
understand.
still doing here?
They said Bretos, yeah, and I was wondering if Bretos is in the comments, but I don't see him.
Oh, Bretos.
What is their policy say? 311 is on Hacks this season. I want. 2 hours is too long, so we're discovering. What we're discovering is,
I think someone was mentioning Bretos because he was on MLS 360 and Wrap Up this week.
Oh,
It
he
was
did great.
fantastic.
Too. And let's just say that show needs him.
The show needs him, this week, LA needed him.
There's something
that was
about
a rough game to watch. Seattle.
It really sucks when you're watching a game, and it's like the time for MLS 360 doesn't start for another 20 minutes. It should be like inside the NBA where the game ends and the thing fucking starts. Why are we pretending like it's must-see TV where we're all going to stick around in the app? If there's a 20-minute break in between, I'm not watching MLS 360. Don Garber, get me on the fucking phone. I can fix this for you.
Also, Ernie and Shaq and the same guys should host it as Inside the NBA. Just bring them to do this too.
Certainly at least pick one person with charisma. Fuck.
Oh my God.
You know who's doing great?
Listen, I know I also like Red Eyes and Layovers and Spirit Airlines, but I like that show.
You know who's doing great?
You don't want me to like that show if you are that show, but I do like that show.
Here's who's doing great is Tom Bogert and Chris Whitty over on Golazo. They've both been doing a great job. I don't know why they aren't on Apple because they're great on TV. They're funny. And they're like, I like watching that Golazo network a lot.
Yes.
I'm so close. We're a minute and a half.
Shout out Alexis Guerrero's too.
Oh, Alexis as well is always great on that. He's the host. We always talk about how good he is.
He's the host of our show?
Tom Bogert. Tom Bogert won't get on TV with that mustache. Are you kidding? Mustaches are in.
He has, and he'll do it again.
They just gave that fucking stand-up a Netflix special. I think he's fine. Darren's a glutton for punishment. Amanda thinks I'm being too mean to you, Darren. So you get to say one true insult about me.
Shit, this is my moment. This is my opportunity.
It has to be true. And I can't get mad at you.
I don't know. I don't have anything. I'm drawing a blank.
I have a lot of negative things I want to say about myself. Is this the longest half? Easily. We're just vamping. I just decided. Jeff Talk said we should go to 2 hours, and I said, okay. Darren has a family.
This is ill-advised.
Say them, Darren. Okay, we're gonna get a countdown.
Say them? What does say them mean?
Say the insult of me. No, everyone's afraid you're true insult. Travis's feet aren't worth 10K. You don't know that, David, and that's the reason
true.
it is.
That's true.
That's the reason it is. Darren had a family.
Oh, fuck.
We're so close, everybody. We're so close. 10, 9, 8. They wouldn't do this for the Galaxy. 6, 5,
It's over
4.
2 on my screen.
Oh, it just went over. It's oh fuck. How okay? Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't hit subscribe, hit subscribe. The people who are still here have done it all. None of you have listened this far. Goodbye to Darren. And let me be the only one to say, because I'm the only one here to even say it. I love you.
Bye.